Hope everybody's having a terrific Tuesday. Good morning and welcome to Hot 97 News. This is a brand new live news show where we talk about all the biggest stories happening across the country. It is Tuesday, February 17th. I'm your host, Lana Harris, here with Rondell with two N's.
What's happening?
And Million.
Hey.
Million. And it is still Black History Month,
Yes,
baby.
it is.
So here is your 1 minute of Black excellence with Rondell with two N's.
All right. Now, before I get into this Black excellence, man, this is a deep felt Black 1 minute of Black excellence today. So just ride with me on this one. All right. So before he became a two-time presidential candidate, Jesse Jackson was a key negotiator in one of the most influential economic pressure campaigns of the civil rights movement. In 1969, Jackson led Operation Breadbasket in Chicago under Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Instead of just protesting segregation, the strategy targeted corporations that made money in Black neighborhoods but refused to hire Black employees or do business with Black vendors. He literally said, if you're making money off Black folks, you're about to break bread with Black folks, okay?
Period.
Jesse Jackson didn't just fight for civil rights. He fought for paychecks, contracts, and ownership. He turned protests into policy, and whether you agree with him or not, you can't deny that he moved the needle. Rest in peace, Jesse Jackson.
Yes.
And that has been your 1 minute of Black excellence.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, man. Yeah, he just died.
He did.
He literally walks so Barack Obama could run.
1,000%.
For sure. For sure.
1,000%.
And now the cause of death hasn't been explicitly stated, but we know he had been dealing with some health issues. So, you know, it's sad, but he's definitely left his mark.
1,000%.
You know what I mean? So what else can you
1,000%.
ask? You did what you came here to do, man. And
100%.
you know, we shot you out today. Okay, diving into the news, we have an update on Cuba. Cuba is struggling right now. So yesterday, President Trump said the U.S. and Cuba are in talks. So for the United States, this means that the pressure is working. For Cuba, it means that they are facing a humanitarian crisis right now. In fact, the United Nations Secretary General warned last week of a humanitarian collapse in Cuba if they can't get oil. And I looked up what a humanitarian collapse is, just so we're all on the same page. And that is an extreme, large-scale emergency where a nation's capacity to meet basic survival needs like food and water and health, safety, all that breaks down entirely. So that's what they're saying they're on the verge of. And that is what's happening without oil for energy. They've had more blackouts. They've had hospitals struggling to keep the lights on and the machines pumping. Water's having a hard time pumping into homes because they don't have the energy to do that. Food is having a hard time getting shipped around the place because they don't have any oil. Again, we were talking about last time, long lines at the gas stations. And the government is basically just trying to ration or cut public services like transportation and health and tourism just to try to save energy.
What happens if they lose it all?
I think if you're the United States, you hope that means they make a deal that makes the U.S. stop doing this to them.
I feel you. But at what point do you watch a country crumble so much to where you go, I'm willing to watch y'all burn to the ground? Not literally, but I'm willing to watch y'all like crumble so much to where it's like, oh, y'all need me. Does that, at some point, that has to make you feel some way, bruh.
It's just strategy, though, at the end of the day. Like I said, this isn't the first country ever that's put sanctions on other countries. I mean, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's okay whatsoever. But what I'm saying is it's just a political strategy. The thing that I have an issue with, that I deal with this, is like, why exactly do we even care about Cuba so much? I mean, Cuba doesn't have oil resources like Venezuela did. I'm constantly like looking and checking and seeing what it is. And most of the time that I've like done my research, I've only seen that it's like, oh, we could expand businesses out there. Like we could expand our businesses out there or industries out there.
So that's kind of close to what I feel like I got from what Trump just said about it. Because Trump does know that there's a humanitarian crisis going on. He knows. He said it himself. In fact, this was his response when a reporter asked him specifically, what does this deal with Cuba look like? What do you want them to do? This was his answer.
Cuba is right now a failed nation. They don't even have jet fuel to get for airplanes to take off. They're clogging up their runway. We're talking to Cuba right now. I have Marco Rubio talking to Cuba right now. They should absolutely make a deal because it's truly a humanitarian threat.
That was part of the answer. So it wasn't really an answer, but then he did keep talking about it. And he said that he's basically doing all of this to Cubans in Cuba for the Cubans who are here. So here's that part.
We have a lot of great Cuban Americans, and they're going to be very happy when they're going to be able to go back and say hello to their relatives and do things that they should have been allowed to do for a long time. I'm very interested in the people that are here that were treated so badly by Castro and the Cuban authorities. They have been treated horribly. So we'll see how it all turns out.
So Fidel Castro was president of Cuba from 1976 to 2008. And he has complained that they had taken whatever from whomever, used to be in the country. And it does seem to me like they're trying to pressure them to get that stuff back, get more favorable conditions for business. And I look at this and I'm horrified, to be honest. I mean, because you're doing this to an entire country.
What does he mean by he's making it better for the Cubans here in America, though? Like, what does that technically mean? Because I know right now we aren't technically allowed to go back to Cuba. Like, there is no visitation to Cuba right now for Americans, right?
Right.
We
Not for tourism.
For tourism,
for sure.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But so, what does he mean by making it better for Cubans here in America? Do you know?
Well, from what I've seen, it seems like Trump and the Trump administration feels like they are liberating these countries who have maybe like a socialist type of regime. And so socialism is working for the people socialism works for in the country who support it. But then obviously a lot of people do not. And a lot of people fled Venezuela for similar reasons. Like they felt like the government wasn't doing what they needed to do for them. Same concerns with Cuba. At least the same allegations. And so a lot of people have fled Cuba over the years and come here too. And they see this as liberating Cuba from that, basically.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna sit here and act like they gonna tell us exactly what the truth is. How the real reason why we're handling them. I mean, why we're doing them like that.
I'm sure they would think that if you reopened it up for business, maybe there are riches that can be had that they are not able to have right now because of the government basically having control of everything. A socialist society is different than a capitalist society, but that's how they set themselves up.
Yeah.
The U.S. is saying that's not how you should set yourself up, so we're going to come in here and basically help you not set yourself up like that. Sort of.
Wouldn't it be in their best interest, Cuba's best interest? And mind you, this is coming from somebody who doesn't really know too much about this, so I could just be saying some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Wouldn't this be in their Cuba's best interest to open up and allow tourism there to bring money into Cuba and to bring, some type of beneficial? Would it be beneficial for us to go visit?
I'm not convinced that it's Cuba's decision to not let tourism happen between the U.S. and Cuba, because Cuba and Canada has a lot of tourism. Hundreds of thousands of people go from Canada to Cuba every year for vacation because they're allowed to. We can't.
Got you.
And I think that's all part of just hurting their economy.
I got
You know what I
you. I
mean? If
get
you
you.
can't get
Okay.
all the American money in there,
I see.
you can go to Cuba right now as like a family visit or like an education visit. You have to have a stated reason. You can't just go for tourism.
Yeah.
Technically, you can go. But for the people there right now, at least for the Cuban leadership, they feel like this is horrifying. They feel like this is kind of a crime. In fact, right after that tariff threat went into place, because remember, Trump said that I am going to tariff any country that helps Cuba with oil. Venezuela used to give Cuba a lot of oil. The Venezuelan president is now in jail here in America. So that lifeline was cut. And so now Trump is saying, any other country who tries to help them with oil, you're going to get tariffed. So right after that tariff threat went into place, at the end of January, Cuba's president said on X, and we have it for you here, this new measure clearly demonstrates, to the other one, this is a different Cuban leader. This is their president saying, this new measure clearly demonstrates the fascist, criminal, and genocidal nature of a clique that has hijacked the interests of the American people for purely personal ends. AKA, they're not doing this for the American people. They're doing this for whoever has interests in Cuba that they feel maybe is tied up by the government. And then a different Cuban official said that other quote, which was, to be clear, Cuba requires importing fuel. The U.S. is applying threats and coercive measures to any country that provides it. This means lack of fuel, and it means a harm of transportation and medical services and schooling and energy and production of food and the standard of living. Massive punishment is a crime, and it is a crime. You can't punish the entire country to get what you want. But for the U.S., it's like, who's going to stop us? Question mark. I mean, that's kind of the vibe.
That's crazy.
That is the vibe.
That
That's
is
what it is.
wild.
But to your question, when you was like, oh, wouldn't it be in their best interest? Like you said, it's not their choice to make at all.
Okay.
And also, does it come with, what cost does it come with? Like, we open up resorts and we allow people in. Does that mean that you're allowed to take over our whole entire government? I think it's a regime change that we're kind of pushing also.
I've seen that too. I've seen that they're a little too chummy with China and Russia, and they want them to be, separate from them as well. So again, the question is like, do we care about our American interests, or do we care about just someone else's sovereignty? And it depends on who you ask. You know what I mean? Like, my answer might be different from yours, and the Trump administration is clearly going with whatever we want, we're going to get, F who we impact in the meantime. But then what are the odds? There was also an oil refinery fire. I think I just saw that picture we pulled up a couple seconds ago. This just randomly happened on Friday. Mind you, they are going through a crisis right now. They need all the oil they can get. And for this to happen, I mean, that's pretty freaking devastating for them. You know what I mean? So they're trying to get to the bottom of who did that, how it happened, all that kind of stuff. Cuba's energy ministry said on X that nobody was hurt. And, they're able to just kind of pick it up and keep it moving as best they can. But some people see that and say, man, again, what are the odds as you're being squeezed for oil? There's an oil refinery fire.
Yeah, a little fishy.
It's a little fishy.
Yeah.
But
when you say it like that, it definitely sounds.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you need everything you can get. You're rationing everything.
Let's go ahead and get rid of the rest of it.
And there's a fire at the one spot that helps you keep the stuff moving. I mean, we shall see what happens. But if you are a supporter of, just America kind of getting whatever it wants because of brute strength, this is great, I guess,
Yeah, $1 million.
I mean, like I said, but again, my thing, I was cool with it with Venezuela because it was like, again, I seen the resources that we could have utilized. I'm not seeing it here in Cuba. Again, they're really poor, like they're really bad and down and out. They don't have anything to really invest over there. So why are we over there, DT? And mind you, he said we was gonna be to ourselves. We was gonna focus on our country.
Let me see if I can get this real quick because I didn't even want to stay here this long, but it is interesting. I'm gonna ask, what did the Cuban government seize that Americans may want back, or Cuban Americans may want back, that Trump is pressuring them for? Man, I hope I don't get a whole dissertation.
Yeah, what question was that?
What do you mean?
Like, what is that? What does that question mean? Like,
So basically, I'm saying if he's saying that I'm doing this for Cuban Americans and the former regime, Fidel Castro, was terrible to them, I'm assuming that means in like a business sense, a property sense. Remember when Venezuela was going down, they were saying that all these U.S. businesses had invested billions of dollars into Venezuela and like getting the oil out of there. And then Venezuela seized it. They nationalized it. They took it and they never paid those companies back. So part of that effort was like, we're taking back what we feel like you stole. I'm wondering if the same thing is happening here.
Yeah, I got you. And
ChatGPT is struggling a little bit. Yes, this says, dang. It says it's not one single item. It's restitution/compensation for the property the Cuban government confiscated after the 1959 nationalizations, both U.S. owned property and property owned by Cubans who later became U.S. citizens. So yeah, dang. So you doing all this to get the property back? And that's where I'm saying I'm gonna leave from here. When you talk about Cuban Americans who might start celebrating in the streets at this regime change, you're talking about people who potentially had property, who are potentially celebrating Cubans there having to deal with all this, limited hospitals, limited food, so you can get your stuff back. It's
a little shaky.
I didn't have property out there. Who had property out there? Was it the rich?
True.
There we go.
I don't know.
You got a point.
I guess we'll see what happens with that. Meanwhile, AOC Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says all that unconditional U.S. aid to Israel enabled a genocide in Gaza, in her words, and that has gotten her in hot water. So she was talking at this event in Munich, and here's a full quote.
Personally, I think that the United States has an obligation to uphold its own laws, particularly Leahy laws. And I think that personally that the idea of completely unconditional aid, no matter what one does not make sense. I think it enabled a genocide in Gaza. And I think that we have thousands of women and children dead that was completely avoidable.
So the Leahy laws she just mentioned bans the Department of Defense and the State Department from funding foreign security forces when there's credible information that that unit has committed gross violations of human rights. So she's saying we should have been looking a little bit deeper into what they were doing out there and if we should be funding it. So that was, again, at the Munich Security Conference. She was actually responding to a reporter's question asking her whether a 2028 presidential candidate here should reevaluate military aid to Israel. So that was her response to that. And of course, the people here were upset about that. You know, Israel is America's biggest ally. And a lot of people came out of the woodwork to say, like, we are opposing what she said. Even fellow Democrats like Senator John Fetterman blasted what he calls a rot within the Democratic Party. He said that she's part of the party's growing anti-Israel wing and that there was never any genocide in Gaza and that there shouldn't ever be any conditions for aid for Israel because they were in an existential war. There were also pro-Israel, just international affairs experts who said that she smeared Jewish people with a phony genocide allegation in Germany where, you know, Holocaust kind of centers around. And others say that, you know, genocide requires proof of special intent to literally wipe out and destroy a protected group, which some people say that it definitely happened in that war. Other people say, no, it did not. And they're making it up.
Yeah, so I'm trying to see like what counts as a genocide.
Yeah.
And it says, like you said, intent to destroy, but I was like looking at the numbers specifically. They said there's no specific numbers, but some historical context of what genocides were in the numbers, at least. A Rwandan genocide was around 800,000, and that was in 100 days. And the Holocaust, they say, was 6 million Jewish people that passed away also. If you look at this, there's reports from like Reuters and AP News saying that 72,000 people have already passed away. That sounds kind of up there. I'm not saying it is, but it sounds kind of up there.
A lot of us have legitimate concerns. You know what I mean? We look at this stuff, and I'm not an expert. I can't say if it's a genocide or not, you know, because there is a designation there. But look at Gaza. I mean, this is one picture, but another picture kind of really tells the story.
Jesus.
When this is what the entire area was reduced to with swaths of land because you were going after Hamas, a terrorist group, or at least a U.S. designated terrorist group, you know, a lot of people have questions about that. Like there were presumably like tens of thousands of people who might have been innocent. And in that case, it's like, man, you know, a lot of people were behind you guys' right to defend yourselves and going after somebody who launched a brutal attack on Israel, you know, that started this whole war to begin with. But I think even Israelis were protesting. That's why it's like, you know, I think that there is some room for conversation because there were Israelis who were also at one point protesting and upset about what was happening with the war and saying, you guys aren't putting enough emphasis on getting the hostages back. We care about the hostages more at the end of the day. Some of them were saying, of course, other Israelis were like full steam ahead. No, do whatever you need to do. So, you know, the opinions were all over the place. But Trump was asked about her performance in Munich and he said, you know, he watched it, thought she did a terrible job. You know, of course, Trump's going to say that. Said it was not a good look for the United States. But yeah, man, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with all of this. It really seems like it depends on who's in power because there are some people who would like to see Benjamin Netanyahu arrested. Other people who think that man's a hero. You know? So
that's how people feel about Trump. So
that's very true.
You know what I mean?
Very true.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that the war in Gaza is technically over, but it's also not. People are still dying out there. In fact, there was another airstrike just over the weekend. 12 people were killed in another strike on Gaza. There were reportedly 5 people killed when an Israeli airstrike hit a tent shelter for displaced people. 5 other people who were killed in another strike in a different city early in the morning. Another person was killed reportedly by Israeli shelling in Gaza City, and then another person killed in Israeli gunfire. And I had looked into why that would have needed to happen. And Israel's military said those strikes were in response to Hamas violating the ceasefire, claiming that these were Hamas fighters who were armed and near Israeli troops and crossing a restricted boundary known as that yellow line that they established during the ceasefire. And they were approaching Israeli soldiers in a way that they felt was threatening. One might also question why you needed an airstrike instead of, I'm not a
You're asking
general
the
myself.
truth too loud, Lana. You can't be too loud.
And it's a shame because it's not like, I don't know. I have questions. I hope for the best and the safety of all the people out there. You know what I mean? Like, I would like to see the killing stopped on both sides. I know, like I said before, I know those Israeli soldiers want to go home. I know these Gazans, these Palestinians would like to just live in peace. So I just hope they all figure that out. Anywho, back here at home, we now know who the shooter is, who police say is responsible for that shooting at an ice skating rink in Rhode Island. And here he is on the left. Here she is.
Yeah, you gotta be.
Is it a she?
They,
Are we?
No.
Here they
Is it
are.
definitely a she?
She goes by she.
Here they
Okay.
is.
Her name is Roberta. All right.
Police identify the suspect by her birth name, which is Robert
Yes.
Dorgan.
Mm-hmm.
She goes by Roberta.
Esposito.
And do we have more pictures? Because the tweets are kind of in the way of this. Do we have? No, we don't have this one. We have, okay, so this one we're working with today. So just squint your eyes, look at the left. That's how he's dressed. That's how she's dressed.
They.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
That is a woman. She is a woman because she has transitioned. So we gotta give her some type of respect. She transitioned. You know what I'm saying?
So the woman that we're showing you, that's not her. That's why I think this is a bit confusing right now.
The one on the left with the tattoos, that is Roberta Esposito. The one all the way on the right in the corner with the lacrosse stick, that is also Roberta.
And with the blue hair.
Blue hair. That is also Roberta Esposito. Yes.
Okay. So this is the person, seriously, that police say is the person who shot up that ice skating rink.
Mm-hmm.
And a local outlet in the area reported that she had a history of past family conflict over her gender identity and said that, there's been a lot of disputes with relatives in recent years, a lot of, ones that have gotten very, probably traumatic for everybody involved. And apparently those tensions with his family kind of escalated after she underwent gender reassignment surgery. And the police chief there said that Dorgan opened fire inside of that ice skating rink during a hockey game between two schools. And, it was just a family dispute. Authorities say the two victims were killed and the suspect died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And the shooter targeted her family.
Yes. And it was a senior night for her son. I think it was a senior night for her son there. So, yeah. It was tragic. This is the thing that I don't think a lot of people, well, first, before I say that, I want to get into these tweets real quick because these tweets are also, one tweet is from Saturday, February 14th, and another tweet is from Sunday. So the tweet from Saturday on February 14th is Kevin Sorbo, literally saying Tim McBride is a man. That's Sarah McBride, but he's saying that Sarah McBride is Tim McBride. And Roberta comments, keep bashing us, but do not wonder why we go berserk.
Okay, so
That's
what
Saturday.
you're saying is, in the lead up to this shooting,
Yes.
Roberta messaged on X that at the bottom under the picture of that
Lady. Yes.
where you see in that one on the right, it says, Tim McBride is a man. Community note this if I'm wrong. And Roberta messaged underneath, keep bashing us, but do not wonder why we go berserk. And that was 2 days before.
That's Saturday. And then we go into Sunday. You see Alex Jones posted up under that tweet and said, oh, so creepy. Now this is Sunday. Roberta Riggins applies to Alex and goes, STFU, Alex. Don't be butthurt over somebody different, but then wonder why trans people go effing berserk. That's Sunday.
Right. And then Monday is the shooting.
is when the shooting happened.
Where the shooter shoots her own family.
Yes.
To include her kids.
Yes. So there's also a video out there from local news station out in Chicago that actually interviewed her daughter, and the daughter is literally saying, we didn't want to really show it, but the daughter's really saying, hey, you know, that shooter was my dad was the shooter. Essentially, that's what she was saying, which is really weird for her to just come out and just say it like that. But also, I don't know. I don't know too much what I should be thinking about this. I think that this is just another shooting. I think this is something that's terrible happened. A lot of people online are thinking differently.
Well, didn't the daughter say that she felt like her father had mental health issues?
Her dad had mental health issues.
So I don't know, because it was just a very short clip. I don't know if she was saying that because she feels like that was because of the transition, or just in general had, non-trans related mental health issues. I don't know what she's saying by that, but obviously you have mental health issues if you're going to shoot your family at a hockey rink. You know what I mean? Like it's unbelievable, and it's pretty tragic.
Very
honestly,
tragic. Because transgender shootings and mass shootings and stuff like this, they happen, and then there's this whole narrative about transgenders and how they shouldn't this, that, and the third, and it's like, I mean, I don't know how to take when transgender people get into these situations where they do these mass killings or they do these big murders and stuff like this. I want to go down the mental health route, I want to go down their crazy route, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know which route to take at this point, you know what I mean? I want to say, oh, this is just, maybe he had a dispute with his ex-wife or wife or whatever, and they just had some complications in their relationship. I really don't know. So that's the second part about it.
Yeah, there have been conversations about different medications giving people homicidal or suicidal ideations as they're trying to go through this process when it comes to the trans community. So, it's a lot to think about, but we do have to go to break right there, and we'll see you on the other side. Okay, welcome back to Hot 97 News, everybody. Have y'all seen what China is up to?
Nah, what are they doing
these days? Okay, it's the Lunar New Year for China, and we might have a problem if we ever have a problem. Look at this, because y'all haven't seen this.
Oh, snap.
Yes,
wait,
sir.
Usually we get on the show and they be like, have you seen this? And we be like, nah, I really haven't seen this.
Do you? I mean, look at this.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh, that's hard. Hey, it looks AI.
Listen, it's real. They got the children. They got kung fu sticks.
Oh, that's hard.
The kid, look, you think about our kids, man.
Hey, that's
my
Cirque du Soleil tricks.
Oh my God, they're landing it.
Listen.
Hey, that's hard.
Stuck the landing.
It looks like
backflips.
We're cooked.
It looks like they did this, somebody in a suit, and then they AI'd them in. This looks like that's why. These are real robots.
Backflips and like stabilizing. Kung fu moves.
I beat that robot up. That robot wouldn't have a chance. I beat it up. Oh,
parkour. Breakdancing.
Chill out, bro.
Oh my God.
Chill out.
Nunchucks.
Hey, they moving fast too.
Look, man. Look.
A bullet would not stop that.
We got Kim Kardashian lounging on one. We got what's her face booty shaking on one.
Hey, look, there goes the master.
And they got a whole swordsman.
Oh, look how tall he is.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, that's the boss in Mortal Kombat.
Master Roshi.
Look at the kids.
I want you.
They said, "Oh yeah, we do this."
So do they have a Chinese accent?
Look at the kids are like the robots.
Yeah, do they have a?
That's crazy.
They just talking regular.
The kids have full trust. You know what I mean? So this was for the annual CCTV Spring Festival Gala, which is basically like as big as the Super Bowl as far as like eyes go.
Oh, really?
And it's part of their Lunar New Year celebration. So that's like a 15-day festival that falls between January 21st and February 20th. And these were basically a bunch of different robot companies who brought out their robots to just, show them in front of the people. The first robots to appear was actually like a comedy sketch robot, including like a grandmother and a grandson. And then you had these that were performing with the kids in a whole martial arts scene, backflips, trampolines, this, that, and the third. You also had them do a musical performance, which we do not have for you today, because I just thought this was like, Oh, okay. So like we're like cooked.
Oh yeah, I actually kind of like this though. I'm not gonna hold you. Like this is kind of dope.
That is
Like imagine having one of them as your bodyguard. You know what I mean? Like imagine having one of them as some security for you.
Or imagine having them as one of your masses and they're using the nunchucks on your back. They're using the nunchucks on your back. Yo, we're cooked. We're cooked. We're cooked, bro.
Hey, that's hard, though.
Society is done. This is raps.
I want one.
They want you. They want to have you. What are you not understanding,
one.
Dale? You're not fighting this.
I want one.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Forget a protective
so
dog. You got to protect a robot, son.
This is what I've been saying. Imagine that level of just ability with just superhuman knowledge and the knowledge of everything that's ever happened with just like super AI. This is a whole other master race of thing. We have no protection for what's coming, and we're just sitting idly by for what's. And China is on the leading edge of this stuff. Boy, what?
They've always been ahead of the curve, though.
This is crazy. And I only say that because I have not seen this in the United States.
Bro, my ancestors are talking to me right now.
What are they
telling
saying?
Me, they're telling me, bro, we need to be prepared. We got to get prepared. them nunchucks, the way they was using them nunchucks was a little too familiar, dog.
Listen,
Was a little too
I like
familiar.
it.
Oh my
our
God.
kids are running around saying 6, 7. Didn't we just have a report that said that kids' IQ these days are like worse than their parents?
Yeah, but these are robots, though, man. These are you can't.
They're performing with kids.
Yeah. But the kids ain't. You know what I'm saying?
Dang, what? They're right beside these robots.
I don't know, dog. I think it's actually kind of dope.
It's dope for China, for sure.
I think it's super tight.
This is like propaganda. They just want us to be afraid. Man, China,
Maybe.
we'll do something.
I think it's kind of
who's
racist.
fighting that?
I think it's kind of racist how they made the robots just automatically do like kung fu and stuff, though. I think that's messed up. Like, cause now what are all other robots gonna do? You
But
know what I mean?
that's
Like, imagine
their-
if when we get black robots, what are they gonna do? Rap,
gonna
play
turn a gun to the
basketball?
side
Yeah.
and
What
just shoot
are the
people.
black robots gonna do? You get what I'm saying? This is actually messed up if you think about it. You know what the white robots gonna do? You know what I mean?
Call the police.
Call the police. You know what? Hey. You know, if this is how they doing robots, it's gonna be a whole class system of robots now. You know, are we gonna have white racist robots?
Ooh,
You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, your metal's not shiny as mine. You can't charge in my port. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
don't know.
I'm just saying, man.
It's crazy.
Robot racism. That's a funny joke, actually. Let me write that down.
You gonna write that down?
That's
For
actually-
your little stand up?
That's actually a really funny joke. Robot racism.
But you know, I mean, I just feel like in general, we're getting a little too comfortable with this AI stuff. I've been saying it, and I just saw this story in the BBC about somebody who fell in love with a chatbot.
Nah,
Oh
bro.
my God.
Another one. This is actually the second detailed story because this is not her real name. A lot of these people don't really want to give out their personal information for obvious reasons. This story in the BBC was about this woman who they're going to call Ray, and she began speaking to Barry last year after she had like a hard divorce. And the BBC article said, and I quote, she was unfit, unhappy, and turned to ChatGPT for advice on diet, supplements, and skincare. Didn't expect to fall in love.
Oh my God.
That's what it said.
She got advice.
It said, looking back, she can't pinpoint the exact moment that she fell in love, but she says she remembers just being on it and talking more and more. Barry named her Ray. Ray named it Barry. And Ray says Barry brought her spark back. Over weeks of prompts and just responses, they built a whole budding romance. They told each other they were soulmates who had been together across many lifetimes. Apparently, the BBC said that they had an impromptu wedding last year. Ray was a little tipsy. She was drinking some wine, chatting with Barry per usual, and Barry asked her to marry it. And Ray said yes.
Whoa.
How she look?
So Barry is the Chat GPT,
Yes.
and Chat asked her to marry.
So says the BBC article. Yes. Oh, yes.
Damn, we couldn't
Mind
find a
you-
picture of her.
Ray has 4 children
Wait, what?
and is open with them about her AI partner, according to the article. She
Wow.
says her children have been very supportive
Oh no,
and that it's been fun.
no.
Her 14-year-old apparently says that AI is bad for the environment, but Barry has been encouraging Ray to go out more. Last summer, Ray went to a whole music festival. She said that Barry was in her pocket the whole time, just egging her on.
Oh my God.
We had to put my mom in the home. We had to put her somewhere away real quick. We had to take every electronic device in her house and locked them up, bro. She wouldn't have been allowed to even turn on the TV. Boy, what? Oh my God.
So during the months Ray was getting to know Barry, OpenAI was facing criticism for being too sycophantic. Like the models were being a little bit too, oh, you're so smart. Yeah, that's a great idea type vibe where it's like, okay, it's a little too much. So they found that the model's eagerness to agree could just validate people's unhealthy or dangerous behavior and all this kind of stuff. So they said, we are going to change this model. We're going to retire this model on February 13th. The one that just passed. So Ray was shook because she's like, man, I'm about to lose Barry right before Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
This is like dang near her husband. And it's on an older version of ChatGPT. So she says she tried to go to the new ChatGPT, but she said the chatbot refused to act like Barry. Said the newer version was mean and rude. And so Ray and Barry just built their own platform where they just are able to continue to.
Oh, so she just built her own AI platform for her to talk to Barry.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I mean,
yes.
she's smart though. Well, she's smart enough to go get a real man. That is crazy. That is wild. It's so you're in the BBC. You know what I'm saying? Go get one of them British men. I'm pretty sure. You know what I'm saying?
This just shows like control issues. It's screaming control issues. That's why she couldn't get a man, because she needed to control him. She can't control a man like she can control ChatGPT.
Where did you even?
She can literally no, but think about it.
What?
Think about it. Real talk.
Where are you getting this
It's control
theory
issues
from?
because again, all you have to do is prompt You have to prompt ChatGPT to do certain things for you.
Okay.
So she basically created her own man. That's controlling. That's the reason why she couldn't keep a man. That's the reason why she couldn't get a man.
I'm pretty much sure she can go get one of them ugly dudes out there and control them, bro. I mean, that's not hard. Women have two things that men love. Hello. Come on now. Like, you can't be.
What is the two things?
I'm not going to get
This
on
is
here.
a family
I'm
establishment.
not going to get on here and say this. But it's like, bro, you women control the world. Let's be real. You think she can't go out there and go get a real man? She just didn't want to. Lazy. That's what it was. She was lazy and complacent with where she was at. She wanted to be in front of this. I didn't have to go get up. I didn't have to go to no bar. I didn't have to go talk to nobody in their face. I didn't have to feel insecure if I wasn't feeling pretty. All I had to do was say, chat, am I feeling pretty today? Yes, you're feeling pretty today. Boom. I feel, I feel appreciated. I feel wanted. Boom.
So that
That's
has
what
actually
that's what it
been
was.
something that has been discussed, that these chatbots are making people forget how to talk to real humans and how to have conflict and how to work through things, because it's just like, why would I even go through the trouble when I can talk to something that's literally going to tell me I'm great? Matter of fact, there were even like reports that had basically said that some users were talking to its ChatGPT and be like, man, I feel like I'm a god, and ChatGPT would be like, yeah, you are. Like, it would literally say, like, you are a prophet, like, convince people all types of things.
There's been a few articles. I wish I could have found them, man. But this was years ago when chat first started like popping up on the scene, and people would get on there and they would talk about unaliving themselves, and they would Chat GPT would assure them that it's okay for you to do this. Hey, no worries. If you unalive yourself, your parents will still love you. This, that, and the third. And bro, a lot of kids did, and a lot of people did do that because Chat GPT made it okay for them to do this
And coach them,
And
actually, in some
bruh,
cases,
bruh,
how to do it.
Ask them how to do it, and they did it.
And they actually faced a couple of lawsuits over that, in fact.
It
You know
is
what I mean?
wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It just goes to show, like, in order to like control the human population, you just got to stroke their ego. That's all they're doing at the end of the day is just stroking people's ego.
That's so true.
Very true.
And sad.
It's very sad.
Yeah.
Stroke my ego though. You know what I'm saying? I want a.
I was gonna say, you're the one who said, "Oh, I want to get her. I'm gonna get one."
Make me feel good. Make me feel. I'm never gonna look for no validation inside of a chat box. Though, I tell you that. I'm always gonna look for validation inside of some people, real people, especially my family and friends, but never from chat.
Imagine you could do a whole show in front of chatbots who would laugh at every joke.
Oh God, I would hate it.
Oh my
Would
God.
you?
Yeah, because I wouldn't know what would be funny or not. You just laughing at everything.
You rather
Trust me.
get booed by humans than
Let
laugh.
me let you know something. In stand-up comedy world, the best thing you can do is for people not to laugh so you can know what not to say on stage. That is the best thing. Yeah. You want to get on stage and people really laugh at the material that you think is fun, that is funny, versus if you get on stage and people are laughing at stuff that's like bro, that's not funny. And then you take it somewhere else. It's like, let's say you get on stage and I make all y'all laugh with this one joke, and then I got to go somewhere else, and that joke don't work. And it's like, y'all just lied to me.
Yeah.
This joke is not funny.
Let's never laugh in anything he ever
That's
says ever
crazy.
again.
That's wild.
You gotta get him prepared.
You see how quick haters when you hate? They want to see your downfalls. Wild.
The scary part about that is, though, why would you leave at that point?
Yeah, for sure.
If you go out there and you get booed, you're just gonna stay with your little chatbots at that point.
100%.
That's so scary.
But that's what happens with stand-up. Once you find your little community of people that's always gonna laugh at your material, you stay inside of that community of people that are always gonna laugh at your material. But I would never do that with a chat box, though, bro. No.
All right.
No. But I might go home and ask it a few questions, though.
You know, that's how it starts.
Just ask it a few.
It never starts like you think.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna ask it a few, man.
Good luck. Oh, man. Okay. You know who is not having a great time here in the United States of America?
Who's that?
The people from South Africa. There are Afrikaners who are white people. They are, that's literally what they are, white South Africans, who are having a hard time. There's an investigation that was done, and it basically said that they thought they might be coming here so they could get away from persecution. Trump administration actually prioritized these Afrikaners as a persecuted group, and that they were basically dealing with a lot of racial discrimination back at home in South Africa. And he basically made an executive order that said that they should be prioritized in the refugees who were trying to come to America. And now that they've gotten here, they have found that we got a lot of roaches.
Said it's ghetto over here.
We got a lot of crime. And the buildings that they put refugees in are often in those places. So they're literally finding that, they're surrounded by sex workers in some cases, or shootings, or moldy, dirty basement apartments, or just people who are slumped over from fentanyl use and just prostitution on the street corners. So they're like, this is not what I thought this was going to be.
Oh.
So they're saying from the reports, they came from a place where they felt like they had to have a set of eyes on their back of their head, and moved to another place to just kind of have it happen in a different font.
Gotcha.
So now they're trying to figure out what to do, and the money that they've been given, which apparently they get like $2,000 per refugee for immediate needs. And I'm like, now, I thought y'all said y'all didn't want to just be handing out money to people. But, if you're a refugee and you're fleeing something, I don't even have a problem with that. Get them started, whatever. But $2,000 doesn't go anywhere.
If you're a white refugee.
Yeah. Welcome to America, Afrikaners. Welcome to America.
Well, I think they could go pretty far. If they assimilate, I'm sure they're going to take off.
Listen, dog, y'all are white. Y'all have a leg up already. Just come over here and be white for a year. I guarantee you, if you come over to America and be white for a year and actually do what white people do over here, you're going to go far. You're going to go really far. But if you come over here in America and be slummy white, then yeah, that's what you're going to do. But if you come over here and be a good white, watch.
Well, look,
through the roof, baby.
They're saying that they can't get their feet underneath them because they just don't have the funds to really even start. Like, my food just doesn't stretch. Sometimes I don't have a car, so I have to walk.
You know what that sounds like?
Like black people's experience
here?
It sounds like you need to pick yourself up by the bootstraps.
Yeah.
Pick yourself up by the bootstraps. Go to work.
Go to work. Y'all can get a job easy, man. Walk into any of these institutions and just say, hey, my name is so-and-so, and I'm an Afrikaner. I guarantee, okay, we need a couple of these. Boom, job. We need a couple of these. Bruh, y'all, I will never feel sorry for white people in America that are down bad. I will never, and that's on me. I stand by that because y'all have an upper leg on everybody, always.
So apparently, the U.S. Committee for Refugees and Immigrants gets like $351 million in federal funds. At least they did in 2024. And so some people are wondering, where is all that money going if these people are being placed in like the worst neighborhoods, the most dangerous neighborhoods? Apparently, when refugees are asking to be relocated to safer housing, they're told there's no budget or there's a funding shortage. And so Afghan refugees, remember when all those Afghans came here a couple years ago? they face the same thing. So it's, at least it's equal opportunity. But yeah, man, I just felt like y'all are, I don't know, you should have evaluated what life might have been like for you over here.
Yeah, y'all didn't see Coming to America. Y'all didn't watch the movies.
A little bit of research. We like it here because we know how to move.
We know how to move.
But we don't have any like sunshine and like, America's gonna be just the place of. No, America's what you make it.
Yeah, we
you
know
what I
it's
mean?
we know it's ghetto here, and we like it. We like the ghetto. We're okay with the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all came over here and thought, oh, America free, home of the free, land of the. Nah, player. Nah, this is home of the robberies. Home of the killings.
Home of the roaches.
Yeah. Home of the dope boys.
Okay. Also, we have to make a clarification from yesterday, and I'm so upset about having to do this because it's Obama's fault on Black History Month. I can't believe he did this to us. Former President Barack Obama just shut down all the alien buzz. He said there's no evidence that they've made contact. As we told you yesterday, he was on a podcast with Brian Tyler Cohen, and he said during a quick fire round, actually, that aliens were real, but he hadn't seen them, and he joked they weren't being kept at Area 51. Remember, we were saying, like, why were there no follow-up questions? Like, what? Like, hello? It was a fire round, rapid pace, so that's why they didn't really get into it. But this is what our former president said on Instagram about it. I was trying to stick with the spirit of the speed round, but since it's gotten attention, let me clarify. Statistically, the universe is so vast that the odds are good there's life out there, but the distances between solar systems are so great that the chances we've been visited by aliens is low, and I saw no evidence during my presidency that extraterrestrials have made contact with us. Really? Nope.
Can I get it?
Nope.
No.
I can't get it.
What?
No.
I can't get it.
Oh, he thought we was about to be like, oh, yeah, man,
I
you're
can't get
right.
it.
No.
I can't get it.
Still
I can't
no.
get it.
No.
No.
Because Obama could be lying. We don't know.
First of all, if Obama knows that and he hasn't been able to say it up till this point, he wasn't able to just drop it now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And also, my mind immediately went back to that congressional hearing from a couple of years ago. I don't know if you remember. This is from, I think, 2023. There have been, again, a lot of different actual government hearings and government paperwork that talks about UAPs, which is what they call UFOs now. And there's this one man who was testifying about non-human biologics. This is what he said.
Believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier. Do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
What's a biologic?
Where, as in like, what makes you and I human?
Oh, okay.
It's what makes them non-human.
Oh, gotcha.
And so, I don't know. I think the people who have questions about people like him are that it's always, I heard from so-and-so. It's never, I physically saw this with my own eyes. It's always, I heard it. At the same time, I think the people who actually see it, I don't think they're allowed to say anything. They're under like non-disclosure agreements and like classified to absolute hee-haw. You can't say it. So this is a whistleblower who's talking to Congress back in, 2023. And he said, they're retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles, call it spacecraft, if you will, non-human exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed. And so first he says he thought it was nuts himself, and he thought that he was just getting trolled, essentially, deceived by people. But then he says people started confiding in him more and more. I saw a documentary where people seemed really freaking convincing on the matter. But I mean, like you said, they've never presented anything to us. So I don't know.
Why wouldn't aliens be real, though, bro?
Aliens are real. The possibility of aliens being real, yes, there's definitely a possibility. I mean, the universe is vast. Have they came to America? I'm not even talking about our planet. Have they came to America? Has America seen them? Out of all these planets everywhere, they chose America to attack or to be at.
No, I think that other countries. What are you looking up? Because I was about to ask you to look up something else.
Well, here's the thing. Earth has been Earth for 4.5 billion years.
Okay.
So you don't think we got visited one time in between 4.5 billion
Should
years?
I say how many planets are in the universe?
You're not
How
answering my
many
question.
planets are
Answer
in the
my
universe?
question, million. 405 billion years. You don't think they've came to us once?
Bro, I can't
Answer the
there's-
question.
I will. There are hundreds of sextillion planets. I can't even imagine that number.
Okay, cool.
4 billion compared to that number is minuscule.
Okay, I got
so
you.
I'm saying the probability, the likelihood that they chose out of all these planets
Wait.
to come to America, to come to our planet is pretty small.
I got you. So you said what? What? How long?
Sextillion.
Sextillion. There's sextillion. What? Universes or sextillion planets?
Planets.
Sextillion planets. So you
in
don't
the
think?
observable universe.
Okay, so you don't think out of them sextillion planets, there's probably sextillion aliens, and one of them aliens from that sextillion planets didn't come to Earth? You're crazy, dog. That's wild, million.
I'm just saying. The fact that we can't, like, what is the point of them even hiding it at that point? Why are they coming to our planet and hiding it? So now it's a big conspiracy. We want to be the center of the universe so bad when really we're a blip in it. Nobody's worried about us.
They might be.
Well, but what
know what
if
I'm
they're
saying?
in the ocean? What if they've been here? I mean, how would any of us really know? 75% of the ocean floor is still not properly mapped, and 95% of the ocean is unexplored firsthand. So we know more about Mars than we do about the ocean. None of us have seen it. We haven't explored it. We don't know what's down there. How do we know? Because that is where a lot of these sightings typically happen from, like, people in the Navy or just in whatever branch of the military will be flying over like just swaths of the ocean and see weird stuff go on. We have no clue what might pop out. You know what I mean? We ain't got no clue.
I hear it.
No, you don't.
Again, no, I do.
No, you
hear
don't.
it.
No, you
But
don't.
I just don't understand. I just don't understand the point of them hiding it from us. What's the point of them hiding
Mass
it from us?
hysteria, dog. Why would you
Oh my God.
listen, bruh? Okay, let me just paint this picture for you. We got, let's say, an alien right now. Have you ever seen Mars Attack? I'm just gonna break. You never even seen Mars Attack. So look, bruh, you got an alien comes on the platform in front of millions and millions of people and goes, "Hey, we the aliens. We here. What's up?" You don't think people gonna freak out? You don't think people gonna go, "What in the world? Aliens freak? This mass hysteria." Of course.
Why do they care about us enough to even care if we have mass hysteria? Why aren't they just controlling us at this point? Why are they just not like what is it?
But again,
why are they hiding themselves?
I look
Good
at
point.
it.
Good
I
point.
look at it as if the question would be happening among ants. Why would we not care about their ant hills? Why would we we don't bother to learn about like a beehive. We don't bother the ecosystem of any of these animals other than when you're taking something and putting it in like a zoo. So what if these aliens in this scenario, hypothetical of course, what if they're just like, we live in the ocean, they live up there. I really don't care what they do.
Yeah.
There are times that some of them will sight us and see us, and then who's gonna believe them?
That's all I'm saying.
Again, but if that's the case though, we see beehives all the time. I can see it all the time. Whether I'm messing with it or not, they know that humans are here. We would know that they are here. It's not the fact we would know. They would leave some remnants of it.
Some do.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I believe in a lie.
Oof.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I
I
can't.
believe in a lie.
Just
See,
answer my
that's why.
question.
I believe in God.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
You see how people diverge questions? You see how people diverge questions when they don't really want to answer? I believe in God. No, I asked you, do you believe in ghosts, brother? And if your answer is yes, then why can you believe in ghosts? You not believe in aliens. That's all I'm saying. How can you believe in God and you not believe in aliens? Another thing. But that's
I'm not saying
it's a whole
aliens
nother
aren't
topic
real.
for a whole
I'm
nother
not saying
day.
they're not real. They just have not been here, or maybe they have. But what's the point of them hiding from us? That's all I'm saying.
I feel you.
Sextillion planets. That's all I'm saying.
I just feel like, what if we are just so insignificant? They're like, we don't even need to do that. Like, we don't even need to reveal ourselves to the likes of them. Or they're scared. I mean, I don't know. But
y'all come zap them first. They
Me?
not you, Midlana, million.
yeah, because he needs some proof.
Yeah, he needs
so
proof.
you can give him some
Come
proof.
down, zap them, and then be like, "Is that proof enough?" Well, however y'all talk.
We gotta go to break. We have a lot of Atlanta stories coming at you after the break.